Okay guys, so I'm back at you with another video today. We're going to do some Aspire tech tip on the brakes because I haven't seen any videos and there's not much info. So let's do it. So I'm currently looking, and in any scenario, whether you have the manual, which I have this one, whatever, or if you go online and you look up how to do it, it's going to tell you how to do it the same way, and I'm doing it a different way. And I think it's better. So you're going to remove your clips, all of these things, which, let's just do a quick look at that. So this is kind of where we're starting, fresh pads and everything on it, new pins, all that. But you're going to take out your clip, and then there's also a clip like this that goes up into this little notch as well. And then it goes through these little locating holes here where you can see it's a clevis pin. I'm pretty sure that's what those are called. That's what we're supplied in the new kit. So I want to just quick hop. I did the Hart Brakes kit because it appears that someone did the brakes on one side of the car and all of the bolts were seized on the caliper on the driver's side, so they just didn't do them. And that turned into the pads basically wearing completely through, and I didn't even realize it because the little wear tab broke off. And I had the other side off and I looked at it, and it had pads, so I assumed it was fine on the other side too. So regardless, that's kind of why this is all happening. If you look over here, actually, these pads have a lot of life in them, and the other ones are completely worn through. I can show them to you. But, anyways. So, yeah, you're going to take your clips out. And then once you take your clips out, it's going to tell you to keep the rotor or the caliper in one piece, slide these pins out, and then that's how you're going to get your pads and your shims and everything out. So imagine like the other half of the caliper is here and it's attached to the car. You're going to slide those out. And the issue is, though, that they're usually completely corroded. They don't move well. You can't get any force on them with a hammer from behind. So what I did is I just split the caliper. There are these two right here and right here that if you take those out, and I just put a screwdriver, like a big fat screwdriver, right in this tiny little gap where there's no mating surface or anything on the opposite caliper, and just tapped it going that way. It came loose. Then literally you have full access to your caliper. You can take it off and have it in front of you like this, and it's nice. You can slide your pads off if you need to. I took a hammer and hit it on top of the pin and drove it out the other way. And one reason why I would recommend going with the same kit I did, which is the pads and rotors. The rotors aren't here yet, they're shipping separately, but I went with that, and it came with all new clips. It came with a brand new like M clip, but instead of these clips that would be a nightmare if you can envision trying to get this fit into both locating holes and then into the middle, like, forget it. So it actually came with these cool pins. They're like I guess if you have RC stuff around, you are pretty familiar with that. But regardless, skip that. And then all of this stuff is, null. You kind of get what you're getting here. So I would do one side, leave the other side together so you have like a reference. But beyond that, the only other thing that actually had me confused was that people talked about shims a lot, and they had these kinds of shims, which I do not understand how these would work anywhere on this, and only one fell out. When I took both calipers off, there was only one of these in the opposite caliper. So, not really sure. I kind of just discarded all these. You get 4 of these boys, and this side actually didn't seem like it needed it, but I was putting them right there, right in between the right in between, let's see if I can aim this, right in between the caliper and the pad. So let's take a little walk over. As you can see, there's the shim sitting in there. So I actually did end up shimming this side on both ends, but on this side actually didn't have any shims to begin with. So I didn't know if someone just did it wrong or didn't need them, but it would appear it doesn't need shims because this pad fits tight and has no clearance for rattle. So then you add your M-clip. Mind you, as you can see, all of this is really simple right now because everything's right in front of me. There's no seals, there's no gaskets. So let's just take a quick walk. Last thing, as you can see here, there's the other half of the caliper that has the piston on it. Boom. Just take that off, leave it. Whoop. This thing came undone. I just hang it on that thing. Let it sit. You're gonna press your piston in like you would on any other brake job, and then just put the two halves together. And I guess last thing is, when you're taking the rotor off, you're gonna have those holes. The ones that are straight through that are big obviously hold the wheel to the hub. The two countersunk ones are going to be what holds the rotor to the hub. Mine were not on there. If yours are in there, I kind of pity you, because I don't know how you're going to get them off because they're, you know, Allen head. But for some reason, mine just weren't in there anyways, so it didn't matter. And the other two small little holes there that you see, they are threaded, but they're literally just meant to, if you wanted to put screws in it and screw it in to push it off of the hub if it gets rusted on. But those little tiny threads in that rotor are not going to be strong enough. So I just took, actually, I'll just show you. I just took this hammer and I went hitting it in the front and then go around to the back, hit it from the back, take the ball peen side, hammer around in the hub area, just hammer the shit out of it. And eventually it'll come off as long as you have those two locating screws out that are in there for assembly. And I think I might be able, to show you something here. Yep, here we go. So you got your disc brake, disc brake rotor, top screw, bottom screw, and then see that tiny hole in the middle? Those are for pressing them out. So if you have that stuff done, you just hammer on it and it'll come off. So like I said, the rotors are still coming in, pads, the kit's sick. You know, it comes with all your little clips. It clears your head with this whole issue. Just throw pins in that thing, it's done. Eyeball the shims, you know, if they slide in, good. If they don't, leave them out. That's what I say. Like, if this pad is sitting, look at that. It's not moving I guess a millimeter. But if it's sitting in there tight, leave the shims off. I wouldn't even worry about it. And then these ones, as you can see, nice and tight now. Shims in there. And then just slap your rotor half back on there, you know, after you press in your piston. So press your piston in, slap that on there, and you're off to the races. So yeah, I just, like, it seems pretty simple, I guess, looking at it like this, but you know, when I first took it apart, I was a little bit like, what is going on with all these clips that are all getting bent? And then, you know, they send me the kit and boom, they got all the stuff. So I wanted to recommend the Heartbrakes kit. I have not tested it yet. If there's an issue with them, I'll post a video, but as of right now, it seems that people like these brakes. So I got that kit. It comes with clips. Get the rotor. It was like $125 for 2 rotors and 4 pads for the front. So I dig that. And we're going to get this thing back on the road again. So it's fighting me, but it will drive. So I will catch you guys in the next one, and I hope you found this one helpful. Oh, and if you did find this helpful and, you know, this pointed you in the right direction with your brakes or something, you know, drop a little comment. I would like to know I at least helped one person sort through the headache of this. So anyways, peace out, guys. See you in the next video.